Welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to learn how to apply filtering in SSRS. We're going to begin with applying a basic filter, then we're going to learn how to apply a wildcard filter, then we're going to learn how to apply date filters, and last, we will learn how to apply some of the operators in filtering. So let's get started. And just to give you an idea, you can apply filtering within your query, or you can apply filtering within your data set. So if you go to the data set over here and right click on the properties, you can come over here and apply filtering within the data set as well. But if you want to apply it on that particular table, then this video will show you how to apply filtering within the tablex properties of it. Alright, in case if you're new on this video, let me just show you the data set that I've used. This is an basic employee data whereby it shows me an employee's department, location, gender, annual salary, and basic work information. Now when I go back to design and if I want to apply filtering, what I'll do is I will go to the tablex properties of that table, and then in this case I'm going to go to the table next properties of this particular table. In order to go into that, I'll click on this table, and then once this table is visible, I will see the gray lines outside of this table that are visible, and so I'll click on the one that connects to both the row and the column and so basically not click but rather right click on it and then select tablex properties. When you go to the tablex properties, you will click on the filters tab over here, and then we will learn how to apply a basic filter. In order to add a filter, you'll click on the add button, and then the expression would be from the table that you have, and in this case I'm going to keep it simple. So gender is equals to male. I'll click on OK and I will run this report. Now as you can see that my data set only consists of all the male. Now we will learn how to apply a wildcard filter. So if I go back to design, go back to my tablex properties, and in this instance I will not remove the existing one, I'll add one. So basically you can add more than one filters in your table, and so in this case maybe I'm going to go with employee name. And in order to use wildcard filtering, you will use the like operator. The like operator is also known as aka contains operator, so you would use the like operator in conjunction with wildcards. Another values you will put, so in SQL, if you're aware of SQL scripts, SQL queries, we usually put percentage in that, but in SSRS instead of percentage we put asterisk. So if you want to list out all the employees' name that begins with A, you would click on the letter and then you'll click on asterisk. This is what it will mean. Now if you want to list out all the employees whose names ends with A, you'll first click on asterisk, then you click on, then you're going to add A. So that will list out all the employees whose name ends with A. And if you want to list out all the employees whose names contains A, either beginning and in the middle, then you'll put asterisk in both beginning and the end. So let me show you a list of all the employees that begins with the letter A, with their names beginning with letter A. And there you have it. So you can see two employees whose name begins with letter A. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you one more example, and in this example I'm going to show you, let's just put it both, and then let me run this report. Now you can see that the list shows you for all the employees who has A either in the beginning, ending, or in the middle, and as you can see here. Now we're going to learn how to apply date filters. In order to do that, we'll go to our tablex properties again very quickly, go to filters, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add on top of it, and I'm going to select my start date. So I'm going to list all the employees that is basically greater than, who started greater than equal to 1st / January / 2004, let's just say, for that matter. And then when you do this, when you select the start date field over here, you'll see on the right hand side the system automatically detects this is a date format. So the system knows that because how because when you're setting this up, you know that this format, uh, you go to the format step over here and then you set it as a date. So that's how the system knows that this is a date format. Now I'm going to click on OK and run the report. And as you can see, I have a list of all males, a list of all employees whose name starts, ends, and contains A, and then a list of employees whose start date is greater than 2004. Now, one thing I want to address is if you're having some date issues in your filtering, one of the other methods to set up your date would be entering the date format, something like this: 1 space Jan space 2004. So if in case if the system does not know whether the first one is a month or the date, then you can filter it by entering this. So there's no way possible that the system will make a mistake with this format. Yes, there's a possibility if you type 0101, system might consider 01, the first 01 as the month rather than the date. And so if you face that issue, then all you can do is you can use this method instead, and it will give you the same result, but it'll give you a more precise or more accurate result. And in my case, it's basically the same. You would fairly agree that we have learned quite some operators while we are learning how to apply filtering. There's one filter in particular that I want to show you. So let me go back to the same filtering tab and let me try to add, or what I can do is I'll amend it on this existing one. So instead of greater than, maybe I want to run a report for those employees who started working, let's just say in 2011. An easier way to do it is using in between function, the between function. So I'm going to select the first value would be the start value. So I'm going to select 1st January 2011, and the end value I'm going to select would be 31st December 2011. Now when I click on this and I run the report, you'd see a list of employees whose gender is male first of all, whose name contains A, and who started working in 2011. So there you have it, guys. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next one.